All right, let's start looking ahead to this quarterfinal matchup. So let's start with Oregon and Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State is favored by 1.5 at this very moment. Pat, how do you see this thing breaking down?
Well, can't wait to see it because I coming into the tournament, I thought Oregon was the best team and had the best season. But what I saw Saturday night was a team that looked like the best team. Now, can they carry it over? Can they then take that to Pasadena and against a team that they beat them by a point, but I thought Oregon was the better team basically all night or all day on that game. It was a really good game. There was not much separating them, but I thought Oregon was a little bit better and they got the win. The mentality I think that Ohio State had Saturday night, they should be able to keep that. And, Will Howard, I remember him on Monday saying, we've just got to win it all, which I thought was kind of heaping more pressure on them. But that might be what they need is like, that's the mentality here is we are playing to win a national championship. And that includes going through the team that beat us in the Big Ten on the road. We'll see. Does the time off, is that a factor at all? Is it good for Oregon? Is it bad? And if I were Oregon, I would be sitting there saying, you know what? Sure wish this game was being played at home because we saw how important home field is, and it's not. You're going to go and it's going to be neutral, and we'll see how the crowd breaks down. But it's going to be fascinating out there. I mean, I will be there for that one. I'm doing the Fiesta and Rose double, and it's going to be a show. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it is going to be fascinating to see if. I mean, there's a real chance that all of the better seeds lose in these quarterfinals. I mean, you really look at all the matchups, and you got to think that that again, just another reason if you want to award the better seed a home field, that it probably is the right thing to do. But when we were Pat and I think we're both at that Oregon Ohio State game in Eugene, and it was fun. I mean, it was just a back and forth. And I'm with Pat. It always kind of felt like Oregon had control of the game, even though they didn't always have the lead. And when it did go back and forth, and it was a fun one of two teams that I think have so much speed on the outside and have quarterbacks that can really like lay it in there and have been around forever. And Will Howard and Dylan Gabriel, that you look at these rosters and these teams and the quarterbacks and even down to the coaches and especially Ohio State. And these are like pro-built teams. They just feel like that. They're older, they're really athletic and talented. And it feels like we have the best two teams in the country, the most talented teams in the country meeting in the quarterfinal. But one, that's what happens when, as we talked about with the seeding, but two, that's also what happens when one of those teams chokes against its biggest rival. So that also happened too. But should be an awesome one. I'm sure the Rose Bowl is quite giddy. The Rose Bowl, Dan, not going quietly into the night. Nope, here we are, Ohio State, Pac-12, Oregon meet for this huge matchup. When in the sunset will happen, Dan, promptly at 5 p.m. Behind the San Gabriels.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Now Oregon got screwed with this. They did. This game should be in Eugene, and they got to play Ohio State. Ducks did. They won 13 games, and this is your fate. Neutral site, Ohio State. Texas is the betting favorite right now to win the championship because of the road they have. But to me, whoever comes out of the Rose Bowl is the favorite to win the national championship. Everyone else got to beat them. Remember, that game in Eugene came down to Will Howard. If he gets into a slide 1 second earlier, Ohio State might win the game. They got a field goal. We'll see. But that's how close that game was. But Oregon should sit around right now going, this stinks. This game, we should get some. We got nothing out of this. We went 13-0, and our fate, because we got to placate the Bulls, and because we got this old conference championship needs to be in the top 3, 4. We get a loaded Buckeye team. Not fair.